Hi, I'm Heather Hundhausen, and today we're going to talk about why you're giving too much in your relationship and you're still not getting what you need. So let me run through the outline with you really quickly so you know what we're going to get into. We're going to start with the intro of the pattern of overgiving. We're going to move into the dynamic of why your resentment builds. Do you have resentment? We're going to get into that. We're going to get into overgiving as a trauma response. It's actually your nervous system. We're going to get into men and how and if they attune in relationships and what happens when they don't. We're going to get into feminine power and having boundaries without having guilt. Number 6, we're going to get into real life examples. I'm going to give you a bunch of examples of what this actually looks like. And then I'm going to give you a somatic body-based wisdom exercise, actually a bunch of them, to help you feel your own body, to see where your boundaries are. And then we're going to talk about the truth about all of this that you just can't ignore. Okay? So stick with me to the very end so you can get the body-based somatic practices. Now let's get into it. Okay. Why am I doing a video about a pattern of overgiving? Well, a lot of people in my life lately have been showing me that this is a common pattern for women. Now, if you're listening to this video and you're a man, you can either learn how to attune to your woman by listening to this, or you might also be in the position where you're the overgiver and you're the one experiencing resentment. And if that's the case, just replace the word woman with the word man, and it can be for you also, okay? So, we're going to get into why we give too much in a relationship. We're going to get into the emotional imbalance that's happening there. And we're going to get into feminine energy and somatic coaching, somatic exercises. So number 2, the dynamic. Why does resentment build? I've said it before, I'll say it again. Resentment is premeditated expectations. So if you have expectations and someone's not meeting your expectations, you're going to have resentment. Now, the problem with this is, have you let your partner know what your expectations are? Or have you kept them to yourself and you still have them, and so you're feeling resentment? Also, resentment builds because we're overgiving as women. You cook everything. You're planning everything. You text him first. You're organizing what you're doing. You're putting a lot of effort into the relationship, and you're not being met and you're not being responded to, and you feel resentment because you're doing so much and you're not being met. You may even be asking for your emotional needs to be met, and you're still not getting met. This is happening because either 1, he doesn't understand emotional labor or how to do it, or 2, he's just choosing not to meet you, especially if you've made your expectations and your needs and your boundaries clear. Let's get into number 3, overgiving as a trauma response, okay? Somatically, in our bodies, overgiving is actually a form of self-abandonment. Okay, let me get into this for you. So, our nervous system, we have the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. In the sympathetic nervous system, we're looking at fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. A lot of times you just hear fight or flight. Maybe you hear freeze. Fawning is kind of a new thing. I think the other one's called like fall down. That's kind of an even more new one. We're going to talk about fawning today. What is fawning? Fawning is when you're trying to win someone's love, or really what you're doing is you're trying to regulate someone else's nervous system for them by being a good girl, by being helpful, by doing all the nice things, by making yourself feel needed. So if my partner needs me, and finds me invaluable, then the assumption that I make, the expectation that I have, is that they can't live without me and therefore they will love me. It's a form of self-abandonment because I'm setting the whole thing up to fail. When I overgive, when I plan and text and cook and all of those things in order to win someone's love or get my needs met, especially if I do it without telling them, they're not going to be able to meet me and I'm going to feel resentment. Okay? So I've noticed that a lot of these women are giving a lot of energy. They're doing a lot of behaviors. And not only that, when they're not doing the behaviors and they're just like at home alone with themselves, they're thinking about it. How can I get him back? How can I make him happy? What can I do for him? What should I say? Should I say this? Should I say that? And the thinking is actually taking up so much energy and you're making yourself exhausted. And this is where the self-abandonment is coming in. Instead of working on your business, instead of taking care of your kids, instead of taking care of your health, instead of figuring out how to stop smoking or not eat sugar or stop eating fried foods or going to McDonald's, you're spending all your time and energy trying to figure out how to make your man happy, which is exhausting you, which is making you want to smoke and eat sugar and eat fast foods and eat highly fatty foods and not go to the gym and not take care of yourself and not do your business. Can you see how this is a form of self-abandonment? The reciprocity that you're looking for from him never comes because you're operating out of a nervous system dysfunction. You're looking at his dysregulated nervous system. Maybe he's angry, maybe he's withdrawn, maybe he's avoidant, maybe he's drinking, maybe whatever he's doing. And you're being codependent, you're fawning, you're trying to figure out, how do I make this good for him? Instead of saying, you know what, I'm not okay. How do I take care of me? Focus on your business, focus on your kids, focus on your health, focus on community service, focus on your friendships, focus on your spirituality. So this comes down to nervous system compatibility. When you're trying to regulate his nervous system, you're doing the emotional labor for the relationship. Instead of regulating your own nervous system and doing your own emotional labor, you're doing his and then you're looking for him to do yours, and that's not fair. Number 4, men and attunement in relationships. This is so important for the men in our lives and for women to be looking for this quality in our men. John Gottman, the leading relationship researcher right now in the country, has many, many books out. I got this one from, I call it What Women Want, but it's A Man's Guide to Women. It's called A Man's Guide to Women. Excellent book to give your man. If your man reads this book and then still doesn't do these things, you probably should throw him in the trash. Just saying, okay? So John Gottman says that this is the most important thing that a man can do for the relationship. And he actually goes so far to say that if a man doesn't do this in the relationship will fail. And it's actually on the man to do this in order to save the relationship. Like, how crazy is that? He's like literally putting the responsibility on the man. Now, our responsibility as the woman is actually to be able to receive all of this. But it starts with the man being able to give this, and this thing is called attunement. Attunement in relationships. This is the difference in a man between a man who's nice. We don't want a man who's nice. I don't fucking care if you're nice. I want you to be able to emotionally attune with me. When I'm freaking out, I need you to be like, wow, babe, look at you. You're freaking out. What do you need? How can I hold you through this? Not minimizing my feelings or pushing them aside or scoffing at them like, you have too many feelings. And not being a nice guy and like taking me out for dinner or buying me flowers. Like, that doesn't matter. What matters is the emotional attunement. Can he meet me? Okay. Nobody wants an emotionally unavailable partner. None of us want that. Men don't want it. Women don't want it. Okay. And Gottman says the number one most important skill for men to develop is emotional attunement in relationships. This is a direct quote from John Gottman. Men who learn to attune emotionally create relationships that thrive. What he's not saying in this quote is men who don't emotionally attune create relationships that fail. Fail is a big word for men, and I use it on purpose. Your relationship is failing if you're not emotionally attuning to your woman. He also says in that book, if you're not giving the clitoris attention, your relationship also will probably fail, but that's another chapter. So, number 5, let's get into number 5, feminine power. And by feminine power, I don't mean being a bitch. I mean having boundaries. And by boundaries, I don't mean manipulating people. I mean holding your own truth without feeling guilty about it. I find this to be one of the most challenging parts of feminine coaching, of relationship attunement coaching, of emotionally regulating the nervous system, somatic coaching. I find all of the women being able to set boundaries without feeling guilty is one of the most challenging things that happens for women in coaching, learning how to actually do this, okay? I'm going to describe it to you, and in a minute, we're going to get into some somatic practices to help you, okay? Basically, what we're learning here about having boundaries without guilt is learning how to stop overgiving. The boundaries you're having are actually with yourself. Heather, you've been overgiving. Heather, you need to stop overgiving, okay? The boundaries are not, babe, this is what I need you to do, and I need you to get out of my way for it. It's not that. It's between me and me. And we're going to get into that in a minute in the somatic exercises, okay? So, what powerful boundaries without guilt look like? Number 1, we're going to pause. We're not demanding from our men. We're not pushing from our men. We're not manipulating them. We're not guilting them. We're not criticizing them. We're not defending ourselves. We're not stonewalling them. We're not ignoring them. We're not withholding sex from them. We are pausing. We are breathing. We are centering ourselves, okay? Number 2, we're not going to give first. Let your man give first. If you're an overgiver, let your partner give first and then meet them. Okay? So you give back what your partner gives. Okay? Number 3, as a woman, we have to learn how to receive our men. So if he comes to you and he's kissing you and he's loving you and he wants to be with you, you get to receive him. Now, if you're super pissed off, it's okay to have a boundary and be like, not right now, because that's your truth. Okay. I'm not telling you to receive a man when you're upset at your man. If there's been a rupture and there hasn't been attunement, there hasn't been a repair, and he's trying to reconnect with you, you can allow him to reconnect, but you don't have to give of yourself until the repair happens, until the attunement happens. And you can state that. You can be like, I don't want to do reconnection until we do the repair. Number 4, we want to stay in our feminine power, soft, open, feminine power. And what this means is not chasing, not prompting, not pushing, not controlling, and not being nice girl. Okay? Staying firm, staying grounded, staying clean, knowing what you want, breathing with yourself. If your body's relaxed, you're going to be okay. If your body's tense, if you're shaking, if your teeth are chattering, if you're shivering, if your stomach feels upset, do not talk to your man. Go back to step number 1 and pause. Breathe. Okay? Number 5, ask for what you want with clarity. Be very specific. Men need direct, specific information. I need you to wash the dishes. Would you be willing to make us a fire? Can you drive us to dinner? I like it when you pay for dinner. Direct things, okay? And then you're going to watch how he responds. I had a client say to me, I haven't had a Valentine's Day with him. And I say to her, okay, this is what you want to say. Valentine's Day is important to me because of ba 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 ba. You explain what it means to you, how it matters to you, what it makes you feel like. And then he gets to figure out whether or not he wants to show up for Valentine's Day. Why? Why not just say, I want you to do something for me for Valentine's Day? Because if you say that, then if he does something for you for Valentine's Day, does it feel genuine? Do you actually feel loved, or did you abandon yourself? So if you say, if it's vulnerable, because what you're saying is, I really want something done for me for Valentine's Day. It has this meaning for me. And then if he doesn't do it, you are going to be rejected, and that is painful. But if he does do it, he's doing it because he wants to provide for you, not because you told him to. You see the fine line, the difference there? I'm going to give you real life examples. This is number 6, real life examples. This is where you're going to see the mismatch. This is going to show you where there's emotional dysregulation and how there's a mismatch in nervous systems, okay? In your nervous system regulation. I gave these guys names. The high compatibility ghoster, okay? This is the guy where you go to breakfast, you go to lunch, you go to dinner, you have your cup of coffee or whatever, and you're super intellectually compatible. Like you're like, bah, 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 and we're talking about things, and it's like, oh my gosh, he's so smart, he gets me, he's funny. Intellectually compatible. Sexually compatible. The sex is great. The passion is great. It's like, wow, this guy really wants me. But he's emotionally unavailable. There's zero consistency. He doesn't text you back for like 3 weeks. And when you're like, what's up, stranger? You didn't text me for 3 weeks. He's like, oh yeah, you're the only woman in my life. You're the only one that I pay attention to. And it's like, if that's true, like that's not enough for me. And you get to be secure in yourself, even though it's highly intellectually compatible, highly sexually compatible. It is not emotionally compatible, and you do not abandon yourself here. Second example, the distant partner. This guy's long distance, okay? He interprets your needs when you're like, hey, it's important to me that you tell me that you love me. He interprets that as demands. When a man interprets your needs as demands, he is not emotionally attuning to you. He's making it all about him, okay? It will leave you feeling confused. And if you feel confused, guess what that does to your nervous system, okay? It's going to cause emotional dysregulation. Women blame themselves for their emotional dysregulation when they're saying to their men what they need, and then he's not attuning to them emotionally, and then he's blaming her and defending himself. John Gottman also says, blaming and criticizing someone else and defending yourself, these are 2 of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. They will ruin your relationship. If you attune to your partner, if you emotionally understand what your partner is saying, what your partner needs, you will have a successful relationship. Third example, the love bomber. Okay, this guy looks like he's so amazing. He's giving you gifts. He's buying you dinner. When you have problems, he wants to give you solutions, but he can't attune. Okay, he can't take personal responsibility for when he fucks up. Instead of taking personal responsibility or repairing, he wants to make it up to you with sex, gifts, dinners, flowers, whatever, something that's not emotionally attuning to you, okay? This is going to cause you to feel immense emotional dysregulation. Again, it's not your fault. You don't need to do the emotional labor for both of you. If he can't attune to you, you get to do the emotional labor for yourself. You get to calm yourself down, and you get to recognize that this guy is not emotionally available, and it is misattunement for you. Okay, number 7. Let's get into some somatic body-based wisdom exercises. Okay, I have a whole bunch of them here. So this is the kind of work that I will do with you in session. We're not going to spend a lot of time here. I'm going to give you short examples. You can do them with me unless you're driving. Okay, you're going to put one hand on your womb and one hand on your heart. You're going to take a deep breath in your nose. You're going to connect these two parts of your body. The womb, creative, generative part of your body, connected to your heart, where your love lives. Are these two communicating together? Are they out of alignment? Does one want one thing and the other wants another thing? Think about your man. What does your heart say about him? What does your womb say about him? Here's another one. You can put one hand on your stomach and then wrap one hand around your ribs. A lot of times when we feel anxiety in our relationships, it shows up as tension in the lungs or the ribs. Usually this is grief or anxiety. If it's grief, you can put your hand on your heart. If it's anxiety, you can put your hand on your stomach, and you just want to be with the tension in your body. You're going to breathe in your nose. You're going to hold, and you're going to breathe out your mouth. And you're going to pay attention to the pain in your diaphragm, in your rib cage, in your lungs, in your heart, in your belly. And you're going to sit with your pain, and you're going to tell yourself, between me and me, what's going on here and what do I need? This is not about what do I need from my man. This is what do I need to calm my anxiety? What do I need to grieve? What do I need to let go of? What do I need? Where am I hurting? Why am I hurting? Letting your body let go. This one I really like. With one hand, you're going to put your hand between your legs, like grab your pussy in a way that's firm, grounded, controlled, loving, tender, warm, okay? In a feminine way. You're holding her and you're going to send her a lot of love. You're going to put your other hand on the back of your neck. You're going to open your throat and you're going to ask your pussy, what do you want to say? What do you want to communicate? What boundaries do you want to communicate? What's your truth? Giving your pussy a voice. Putting both hands on your heart. This is where your inner child is. Asking your inner child, oh, baby girl, what do you need? If you had a loving mother who was taking care of you right now, how would your mother emotionally attune with you? What do you need emotionally? Give yourself what this man who's mismatched, who has a nervous system dysregulation mismatch. Give yourself what he can't give you. If any of this is challenging for you, I can teach you all of this in somatic relationship coaching, okay? So number 8, here's the truth we can't ignore. If we're overgiving, you're giving too much in your relationship, you're not getting what you need, you're being a good girl, you're fawning, your emotional system is dysregulated, your nervous system is out of whack, your man is not attuning to you, okay? Here's the truth, the hard truth. You cannot make a man attune to you. It's his choice. He either learns how or he doesn't. He either cares enough to learn you or he doesn't. He either has the capacity to learn, the capacity to attune, or he doesn't. Some men are just like so selfish and narcissistic. Even if they try to learn, they can't figure it out. They cannot get beyond themselves. You can't teach someone to care the way you need. This is such a harsh truth. It's such a hard reality to face. If someone's not meeting your needs, you can't teach them how to meet your needs. You can tell them what you need and then watch and see if they behave accordingly. Not what they say, not if they're like, oh, I promise I'm going to do all these things for you. That is bullshit. Men do not communicate in words, they communicate in actions. You have to watch. Does he attune to me? Does he understand my heart? Does he understand where I am emotionally? Does he understand what caring about me really means? Does he put me first? Does he put us as a team first? Or does he stay selfish? Does he talk about himself? Does he plan for his own future and not us? If he's doing that and you haven't told him you want him to plan for us, like that's a good place to start, okay? Like we get to let them know what we need, but you can't make him care about you. Another truth you can't ignore is that you can stop abandoning yourself by becoming clear, grounded, and coherent. Stop overgiving. You match someone. You don't give more than them. Stop interpreting giving behaviors as attunement. Stop getting confused when a man can't meet you emotionally and he says a bunch of words that make no sense. He cannot meet you emotionally. That's okay. All right? So what are we going to do? Number one, we're going to stop chasing. We're going to start listening, watching, witnessing, seeing what he does. Can he stay with me? Can he attune to me? Does he care? In your way. And I've already told him what that means, and he's still not doing it, okay? Number two, stay in your body. Remember the pause? Breathe. Make sure you're attuned to yourself first. Make sure you're not a crazy wild woman looking for someone else to take care of you. It's not your job to emotionally regulate him, and it's not his job to emotionally regulate you. You get to calm down first. Number three, let him reveal if he's right for you. Don't try to fix him. Let him show you if he's right for you. If he's not, you're going to know. Number four, if he can't attune to you emotionally, you'll know. It'll either feel good or it won't. Okay? You don't have to convince someone to love you the way you need to be loved. It's either going to match or it's not. It's either going to feel good or it's not. And you can, I'm giving you permission. Some of you don't think you have permission, but you have permission to walk away if this person can't give you what you need, especially after you've communicated it time and time and time again, okay? If you don't know how to do any of this, if you don't know how to attune, if you don't know how to clearly communicate with your man about what you need, if you don't know how to stop abandoning yourself by overgiving because you were taught to fawn in childhood and that's your defense mechanism for your self-regulating, for your nervous system, it's not working, okay? If you're doing these things, you get to schedule a breakthrough session with me. It's in the comments, okay? Just click the link, fill out the form. You get to meet with me. It's complimentary. There's nothing holding you back from meeting with me and seeing if you want to invest in yourself in a way where you can create relationships that matter to you, where you're not abandoning yourself, where you can regulate your own system, where you know how to talk to your own body so that you can feel yourself, so that when you're in relationship with someone else, you can feel whether or not you like that, where you stop being confused in relationships and you trust your intuition, you trust your body, you trust your inner knowing. I'm going to help you with your nervous system dysregulation. And when you become emotionally regulated and you do the somatic work to get there, you're going to feel secure in your body in a way that when other people are treating you crappy, you go, I don't like that. When other people are treating you crappy, you don't go, oh, I need to do more to make you love me and give back. That's not working. Okay? So if this is you want to do a breakthrough session, click the link. If you're relating to this and you're not sure if you want a breakthrough session yet, that's fine. Hit the follow button. There's going to be more videos. Okay? If you feel like you've given too much and you want to share with the community, leave a comment about what have you done? How have you given too much? Okay. Oh, if you know someone who's doing this, you're watching your girlfriend like overgive and not have boundaries, and her man is not emotionally attuning, and you're like, is this guy a narcissist? Send her the video. Okay. I will meet with you soon about more somatic coaching related topics, body topics, nervous system regulation topics for men, women, and relationships.